good question for another time. Haha! It's funny, because that's the entire trilogy.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest with you, Dan. I've watched these films. I don't really understand them. I've sat through them. Mark Hamill was present for some of it.
Yep.
And also there were lots of robots. And that's my opening statement and closing statement. Okay, so
should we just leave it? Should we just? I mean, I just want to go to my bed at this point.
Go on, Cocker. Have you got a bit of something for the bullshit? Because if you don't, I have a furious rant prepared.
Oh no, I've got something.
Oh, go on, hit me.
Right. I said I've got something. I mean, the wheel will randomly generate something from the ether. Staying awake all night.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounds like a thing that you could do. Have you been doing that for some reason?
Yeah, I've been doing that recently.
I see. That doesn't sound like fun.
No, it really isn't. And I work quite early. You know, I'm out of the house by 7:30, and you know, traveling all across sort of Scotland to different sort of railway stations and stuff like that. So, you know, sleep's important. But it's like I'll come in from work and then I'll fall asleep and I'll wake up about 9. So therefore I'm like not tired anymore, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So I'm lit up all night and then I'm knackered for when I go to my work. So
See, I mean, that sounds like something that could be easily rectified. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, it sounds like you could just not fall asleep when you get in.
yeah, but do you know how hard that is?
I reckon through force of willpower and sugar and coffee, I reckon you could make it from, I don't know, when do you get in?
Well, it varies. Normally about sort of 6:30.
Oh, okay, 6:30 to what, 9 o'clock? That's like an acceptable early bedtime. You could do that. I reckon you could.
Yeah, if you just sort of get a neighbour to slap me about or something like that. This is Big John.
Yeah.
He'll be keeping me awake for the night.
You've been told that Big John will be electrocuting you, but instead, it's just kind of smacking you.
Yep. If your eyes slowly begin to close, he punches you in the face. Daniel, I don't want to have to hit you, but if you fall asleep in me, I fucking will.
What about if you needed to sneeze? But you'd have to, like, keep your eyes open.
That's the risk you take when you agree to employ Big John to help you stay awake.
Big John.
He can't tell the difference between when you're sleeping and when you're sneezing. That's one of his only flaws.
I see. Does he have any other known flaws?
Um.
Because I've heard that he's unaware of the existence of insects.
Yeah, he is, but he also
keeps seeing flies, and he's like, God, that's just a tiny bird.
Oh, fuck's sake. I mean, he did punch a child who was praying because he thought they were wrestling. No, I'm joking. That is a joke, folks. Okay.
Yeah. Also, I feel we should be obvious. Big John does not exist.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, I see. Of course.
At least I hope he does. Don't know who's been punching me then.
It's just some guy.
Just someone in the house. Just probably my brother or something like that. You know.
Yeah. Your parents have been paying your brother to punch you in the face to keep you awake. That's how that works, right?
Oh, they wouldn't pay him. He got all the payment he needs from that endeavour. But yeah,
that's better. Punching Daniel in the face. How lovely.
That's really all I have for the bullshit that I'm a. I mean, that's all the random generator came up.
Let's see if the random wheel generator can generate something else.
Oh well, let's have a go. I don't know.
No, I don't know either. I mean, I'm shaking and stuttering here. I don't know if it's going to be able to do it.
Yep. Woo!
Again, Discord does not really play the noise of the wheel.
Oh,
I can't
sorry.
Figure out what it is, so I don't know when it's finished.
Sorry. Woo!
Oh, there we go. It's kind of finished now. Okay, car insurance.
Oh shit.
Are you right? I have a car. This is the truth. I have a car, and Chloe drives it about. Chloe is insured to drive the car, and car insurance. I'm sure this is the case around the world, but in the UK, at least as far as I know, it is the law that you need to have your car insured. Mm-hmm. There are like random spot checks and crap where they'll do your number plate and be like, oh, that bloke's not insured. Then they'll pull you over and, I don't know, do whatever and crush your car into a tiny little cube and throw it in the ocean or whatever they'll do. And then what that means is once a year, every year, you have to reinsure your car because it lasts for a year for some fucking reason. So in the past couple of days, my insurance runs out. I think it's early sort of February time, so I've been sorting that out now, and I've been paying the insurance as you do, and I got a quote from my insurance provider that they so lovingly sent me and said, "Hi Lewis, you've done nothing wrong in the last year. You haven't crashed. You haven't made a claim. Mm-hmm. In fact, I'd say your driving has been exemplary. So for that reason, we're going to ask you for £120 more per year on top of what you've been paying." Oh, fantastic! Thanks, Admiral, you big dick. So then I called him up today and I was like, "Hi, is this the Admiral?" And the person on the phone said, "No, I'm Chris. There's no actual Admiral." And then I said, "Right, okay, well, my bills come for like the coming year, and it's just way higher than it has any business being." And he goes, "All right, okay. Let me see what kind of discount I can get for you." So that's him typing on his keyboard. "Oh, I see, Mr. Brindley. Okay, we can get your car insurance down to..." And he gave me a price, which was actually 50 quid cheaper than the previous year. So he's bought this price down for 200 quid out of fucking nowhere. I fucking hate the fact that it's a legally required thing that you have to pay an extortionate amount of money to a company, and then they have complete freedom over how much they charge you. When Chloe first got her first car, she was like going through getting it all insured and stuff, and she passed her test. Oh, I can't remember what the date was, but regardless, anyway, just after she passed her test, she started driving the car, and can you guess what her highest quote was for insurance? On she did like a comparison website where you put in like your car and your history and everything. Guess what the highest quote was per year?
I don't know.
£8,000
Holy shit.
for a year of insurance. There is no limit on how much these companies can charge you, and that's fucking bullshit. Because I'm like, it's a tiny little Toyota Aygo. How am I going to kill somebody with that? It doesn't even have a 1 litre engine, technically. It's smaller than that. I don't even have to pay fucking road tax because the engine's so small. That car is not doing it. You are more likely to be killed by your fridge than that tiny fucking car on my driveway, right?
Your fridge. What is your fridge going to fall on you?
Well, it'll be more likely than this car crashing into you. Christ. But it just really, really frustrates me, and it annoys me that because the thing that got me about having to call up Admiral and say, "Hi, why is my insurance so high?" is it's like a known fact that you call your insurance people and say, "Hi, can I pay less money, please?" And they go, "Yeah, all right," and then you pay less money. That's a known fact because insurance companies are preying on lazy people who don't want to call the insurance company and think, "Oh well, it's only 50 quid a year that it's gone up by. That's all right. I suppose I can deal with that."
Yeah.
And then before you know it, it's incredibly ridiculously expensive. And right, this is the final thing on car insurance. And if you don't have a car and you just hate my voice, then this must have been torture for you. But my friend, oh sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say I'm in both of those categories.
But my friend from college, he was in my maths class, and he was driving in the snow, and he came to a stop at a junction, like a T-junction. Mm-hmm. And because of where the ice and the snow was, he physically came to a stop, and then the car slid sideways into a wall.
Oh my god.
I know this sounds improbable, but I promise it happened. You have no reason to believe me. I could be making this up. But long story short, it damaged I don't know anything about cars, but the suspension it damaged something to do with his front left wheel.
Right.
So he had to take the car to a garage, and they said, "Okay, it's however much to fix it." I think he said it was 600 quid in like an immediate amount of money that had to be paid, and then there was several other smaller amounts that had to be paid later on. And I said to him, "Well, won't your insurance pay for it?" And he said, "Yeah, in theory my insurance would pay for it, but I can't ask my insurance to pay for it because then my premium for next year would be like £10,000.
Oh my
so
God.
I can't afford to claim. So you are paying, literally, most first-time drivers are paying about £2,000 for their first year of insurance.
And avoiding
can't
calling them.
Exactly. You can't even use it because maybe it'll get more expensive the next year. It is utterly disgusting. They have a monopoly over this thing that is legally enforced. And do you know what the fucking price is? If you get pulled over and say you're driving without insurance, do you know what you have to do?
What?
You have to pay a fucking fine! It's just all so fucking ridiculous.
It
genuinely makes me so angry.
I mean, for good fucking reason, you know. See, hot take, folks. Hot take. See, insurance companies are like the death of quite a lot of people. Like, unironically, like.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Even
especially health insurance companies in the US.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like, you know, people over here avoiding like car insurance. There's people over in the US who avoid health insurance. You know, when they get sick and just sort of have to fucking wait it out because of the extortionate rates that they're charged for it. It's fucking despicable.
Yeah, it really gets me. It's like in the US you get cancer, and then, which is obviously a horrific diagnosis, even if you go into remission, and even if you never ever have like another, your cancer never comes back sort of thing, then even then you're going to be in a lifetime of crippling debt. What kind of a system is that?
Exactly.
It's disgusting. Fucking hell.
The majority of Americans actually support like Medicare for all. It's just
I'm sure they would do, yeah.
It's just that, you know, the insurance companies just won't allow that. I mean, has anyone ever seen fucking Breaking Bad? You know?
Yes, exactly. That man kills people because he can't afford his medical bills.
Well,
essentially, that's the cornerstone of Breaking Bad.
I mean, he's also a bit of a fucking lunatic, but
Well, I mean, it's all a slippery slope now. It starts with him not being able to pay his medical bills,
Yeah.
and then at the end of the show, he's killing people. So you know.
yeah, definitely. But no, I agree. It's absolutely vile.
Okay, well, that's my anti-capitalism corner is finished for today. I imagine next year, around the end of January, start of February, I'll have this exact same rant where I'll say that car insurance is just a massive scam. Thing is, the thing that fucking gets me is it makes sense. If my car crashes into a bridge or something, and then let's just say for the sake of argument, my car gets horrendously damaged and I can't afford, and I'm fine, then it makes sense for me to have insurance because then they'd pay for the repairs. But on the same level, it's just so fucking stupid. It makes sense, but it's the fact they have unfettered access to my wallet.
Yeah,
I hate it.
it's like if you have a really good year, they put the prices up, but if you have loads of accidents, they put the prices up. It's like, you know, it's shit. There's no option there's no option that makes anyone happy apart from the people that run the company. So,
that's the end of anti-capitalism corner. So should we talk about some movies?
Yeah, let's do that. We are doing. We've done the first trilogy, we've done the second trilogy, and it's been a Star Wars extravaganza. I feel like a Disney park. It's really just Star Wars out my nut. Jeez, don't ask me to do the advertising. And last but not least, we're finally on the Star Wars sequel trilogy. And it was written by J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson. It was directed by J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson. And it is starring Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar Isaacs, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher.
Indeed it is. I'd like to say, for the record, that I know it is pronounced Rian Johnson, but whenever I see that name written down, it just makes me think Rian Johnson.
Rian, yeah.
I know that's not his name, but every time I see it, that makes me think of that. But, right, have you got an opening statement, Cocker?
Yes. A real mix-up of risk-taking and shameless pandering to the masses fails to hit the right balance of exploring new territory and making it a trilogy for everyone. An undoubted disappointment for me.
Yes, indeed. Well, they're pretty, at least.
Oh, shit.
Right, I mean, the thing is, right, we've already established in the previous Star Wars podcasts we've done that I don't really give a shit about any of the Skywalkers, and nobody has convinced me to give a shit yet. these films certainly haven't convinced me to give a shit.
Damn.
I mean,
Lewis,
don't get me wrong.
Can I make a wee guess?
Yeah?
I don't think you give a shit.
No, I don't give a shit. It was, like at the end of the last one, I don't even fucking know what any of them are called, because I've got them stupid fucking names. Right. If you ever catch me saying something that isn't Star Wars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Yeah.
then just fucking shoot me in the head. Because, like, I will never say those words. The last one, anyway, where everybody fucking dies or whatever the fuck happens, and then Rey makes a lightsaber. When she's like, oh, my name's Rey Skywalker, I just don't give a shit. I just don't give a shit.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really do that. You can't just...
I feel like even in a universe as vast as Star Wars, it's got to be identity theft at least.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you can't just like watch all the Skywalkers die and then like take their name at the end of the film. You know, so really, Palpatine won in the end. Really, I mean, it's like a battle of these two families, and Rey Palpatine is just masking his Rey Skywalker.
Right, here's a question for you. I forgot to ask this one last time, and now I'm going to ask it. Okay, this might be explained in the films, and I might have not paid attention, but in the prequels, Christopher Lee sort of waves his hand about and does Force lightning, and then he's fine. And then in these ones, Daisy Ridley waves her hand about and does Force lightning, and then she's fine. But Palpatine does it, and he turns into a big raisin. What's going on there?
Yeah.
Why does it only turn Palpatine into a big raisin?
I think because, like, what do you call it? Like, Mace Windu's, who was played by Samuel L. Jackson's lightsaber, was like rebounding off of his face.
Right.
I think that they show that, and it's like the electricity's going on his face. I don't understand why he would suddenly look like that. You know?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't look as if he's been like burned by electricity. He just looks like a fucking old omelette. You know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's this is one of my great sort of frustrations. I think now that I've watched all of these Star Wars films, one of my great frustrations is a lot of the decisions seem to be based around because it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like for example, all the ships are designed that way because it would look cool. There's no real reason for any of the ships to be any of the shapes that they are. But like that's one of the reasons I kind of like the Death Star is because the reason it's the shape that it is because that's just kind of a convenient shape to build it.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I like, say, the ball cube in Star Trek Next Generation. Well, Star Trek, all the fucking Star Trek that ever existed. But, like, is because that's just... there's a reason that it's shaped like that. And I just don't...
Yeah, it's appealing. It's really appealing. For whatever reason, there's just some untapped sort of, you know, appeal that comes to these things because it's like, circle. You know, you know.
And then it jumps into the question of like, well, okay, well, why is Darth Vader's ship slightly different to all these other ships? And why is what's the difference between an X-wing and one of these other weird ships next to it? What's the difference? Why do AT-ATs exist? Surely it's just a big thing on wheels. Well, I struggle a lot with a lot of these things.
Yeah, I mean, people who watch Star Trek will know like the intricate differences between like the types of Starfleet ships and Klingon ships. You know, it's fun to sort of get into that if that's what you're into. You know, to try and make the world as real as possible. But what I really like about these films, the sequels, is the clear like just utter opposites of what the directors were like trying to do.
Really?
Yeah. Oh well, maybe like because I mean, see when these films come out, right? I'll try and explain the best I can the sort of public reaction to these films.
Right.
The Force Awakens, which was the first in the trilogy.
I know people sort of liked that one, didn't they?
Everyone fucking loved it when it came out because it's a complete rip-off of A New Hope.
Right.
It just is. I mean, it's like, yep, there's an orphan on a planet, a desert planet. They leave the planet and blow up a big fucking battle station. So that's exactly what happens. So everyone loved it, and then I think people started to realise, wait a minute, this is just the same fucking film. So I think the nostalgia got to a lot of people, and then a lot of people began to realise how shit it was.
Yeah.
But J.J. Abrams in that film had set up certain things. He'd set up this character called Snoke. Who's he?
Yeah.
What's his role in the universe? Who is Rey's parents? You know, some questions were there. You know, so
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
invested. You wanted to know what was going on. And then The Last Jedi came along, directed by Ryan Johnson and written by Ryan Johnson. And it's fair to say that film is one of the most divisive Star Wars. In fact, not one of the most divisive films to ever come out of cinema history. You know.
Drama.
Because Ryan didn't think that he would continue the story that JJ had set up. Ryan just thought, no, fuck that. You know, it doesn't matter who Rey's parents are at all. Who fucking cares about Snoke? I'm just going to kill him off. And, you know, he made Luke Skywalker, who's the biggest sort of hero of the you know, the 70s, into this sort of hermit. Who?
Yeah, that was something I didn't. I mean, my entire experience of these films has been in the last month. But, like, I was just like, well, isn't Luke's whole thing, like, be a good bloke? And now he's just sulking around in a cave.
Yeah. So, you know, there was a lot of people that liked it. A lot of people said it's good that they were taking risks. It's something that we haven't seen before. It sort of goes away from the sort of good-bad archetype, you know? The fact that this absolute, you know, titan of a protagonist is actually facing some really difficult choices and actually has a change. People liked that. Other people didn't like that because, you know, they hadn't seen this character for like 30 years and this is what you give us and it's like, holy shit, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know? But I'm not entirely bothered, you know? I just wanted, like, consistency, and there was just no fucking getting that in this trilogy. See if they'd have made Luke a hermit from the start, and they'd like, there is no fucking world building in this trilogy whatsoever. None. Who are the First Order?
Yeah.
Who are they? How did they get a fucking planet? You know, aren't they meant to be like, on the run? Aren't they meant to be like, you know, J.J. Abrams described it if the Nazis in Argentina started working together. So how the fuck did they become so powerful? And then you know, it's just bullshit.
Yeah, I think I wrote down, are these movies just for world building? Because it was like, it's like you're building 80% of a world. So, okay, the First Order, I guess that's cool. And then those red blokes that were guarding Snoke. Okay, yeah, I guess that's kind of cool. They're all red and they kind of look cool. Then what's his name? The disco ball bloke, Captain Phasma. Is that him?
That, you know, that was a she.
Oh no, I don't. But okay, Captain Phasma.
Yeah.
I think this shows the amount of effort, the amount of energy I was sort of putting into these things. But Captain Phasma, like, yeah, okay, they're a shiny stormtrooper. Cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I just, why are they shiny? You know what I mean? They built 80% of a world, and they said, like, okay, these are all things in the world. You do the rest. All the pieces are there. You put them together. Do you know what I mean?
Why is there a resistance when the Republic is a thing? It's like,
that's a really good point. Why is it not just the Republic versus Snoke and his mates?
Yeah, and why is the Republic just fucking destroyed within the first 30 minutes of the film? It's like, well, we know why, because, you know, God forbid, fucking Disney grows a set of balls and says, let's not tell the exact same story again. Let's try and do something different where the bad guys are on the run and the good guys have to make morally ambiguous choices. That would be kind of interesting. No, fuck that. Let's have a big Death Star again. You know, we won't have a Death Star in the last one. We'll just have 10,000 fucking ships with Death Stars in the middle of them. Amazing. Up the stakes. That's how you do it. Up the stakes.
Yeah, it's yeah. I know exactly what you mean. It's that thing that it's ooh, this is a bit of a leap, but just go with me. You know that, I'm sure you've watched H-Bomber Guy's Fallout New Vegas video?
I haven't. I've seen his new Christmas video. I've yet to watch the Fallout New Vegas one.
Ah, well, I have. And he talks about how, like, in video games, there's like a horizontal progression versus a vertical progression. So, like, a vertical progression would be you now have 3 levels of skill instead of 2 levels of skill in big guns or whatever. But there's also sort of horizontal progression where you don't necessarily get inherently better at something, but it's different and that's interesting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, like, instead of having a projectile gun, you have like a laser gun, and it presents different challenges and different benefits, but also different drawbacks that you might not have expected. And I think that's this sequel trilogy. It almost feels like vertical progression without any of the sideways progression. It's like, okay, we've just turned all the numbers up. Instead of just one big fuck off Death Star, there's just loads of blokes, just fucking loads of them, all running around these ships. Just right, okay. Imagine as many blokes as you possibly can. Twice that many. Twice as many blokes.
Yep.
Okay, I suppose that's...
Thousands of ships, all manned, hidden under the ice for fucking decades, ready to go, and he's like, time to rise, the final order, and they all come up. If they just been there eating, you know, what have they been doing? Like, holy shit. But, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so,
Right, the thing is, okay, this is a bold statement, but we're going to go with it. Palpatine's plan in the prequel trilogy, he should have just kept trying to do that, because that's the most insidious and probably the easiest way to make it happen. Is sort of subvert democracy very slowly and sort of weasel your way into the galactic government or whatever, and then maybe have a couple of assassins out back to just bump someone off if you need to. But for the most part, you're just weaseling into government meetings and doing... Do you know what I mean? It just seems like a weird choice to just be like, yeah, let's build as many Death Stars as we can. Let's just build a dozen of them. Come on, let's build a dozen of them. Ship them all over to Rey Skywalker.
yeah,
That's a good idea, isn't it?
you know that Palpatine wasn't originally meant to be in it. Like,
Was he not?
no, Disney did not have a plan for the sequel trilogy. It did. JJ sort of started it off and was like setting up all these sort of pieces, you know, as shit as the world was built, you know, there was some threads that we could have explored, you know. And then Rian Johnson came in, who was given sole authority in that film, and just decided to retcon everything JJ did. And then JJ was brought back for the final film, and he was like, holy shit, all the stuff that I'd planned is now gone.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
Next?
Okay. Palpatine's back. Snoke was a clone that Palpatine made in his fucking basement.
Snoke came from a big vat full of goop. Does that help you? I can offer you that. Is that good, Mr. Disney? I can offer you Snoke came from a vat full of goop. No, you don't like that? Okay.
Darth Vader, who was sort of slowly seducing Kylo Ren to the dark side through the Force, was actually just the Emperor the entire time, which doesn't make any fucking sense, because if Anakin's a Force ghost, why would he allow that to happen to his fucking grandson? But never mind, it's done.
Kylo Ren gets stabbed, but then Rey kind of heals him with her magical powers.
Yeah. Rey saves a fucking worm, and then Poe Dameron gets shot, and he just has to fucking have a bandage around him for the remainder of the film. So the last film is just essentially like, okay, let's just go on a massive fucking chase with about 3 fucking things, these weird artifacts that get you to places. And can I say, see that knife that they find? Okay?
Yeah.
When they get to the Death Star that blew up, and Rey sort of pulls this little ruler extension out and measures it up with the wreckage of the Death Star. The Death Star exploded fucking 30 years ago. Do you not think that it could have shifted in any way? And what if you'd landed in the wrong fucking place? How the fuck would you have known anything? It's so convoluted and so stupid, and that's like the plot of the film. And did you see the Death Star blow up? There wasn't huge fucking balls of wreckage, and if it was, it would have burnt up in the atmosphere. It was destroyed utterly, and yet there's this huge fucking hulk of it just lying there for years that no one thought to plunder at all. Oh,
That would actually have been more interesting, wouldn't it? A film where they have to run around the galaxy trying to find that dagger. That would have been more interesting. Where they go to the wreckage of the Death Star, and then they're like, oh, fuck, yeah, it turned into, like, sawdust. Alright, well, it's a radioactive knife. And then they have to try and follow it around the gap. That would be still kind of bollocks, but more interesting than, oh, yeah, got it. Right, we can go home now, guys. Got it.
yeah. Lucky this quicksand doesn't actually go into the earth and lands exactly where we need to be. You know, Luke gave up the search despite the fact that the guy's ship is like 2 minutes away from this massive sort of black sand that's just here but nowhere else, you know. How did he not see that?
Oh, good old Star Wars, eh?
The last Jedi said that Luke didn't read the sacred Jedi texts, and yet we're supposed to believe that he wrote them about this fucking Wayfinder thing. It's like, there are so many fucking... It's like the Bible.
Yeah.
This sequel's like the Bible, because there's just so many fucking inconsistencies that just don't...
Yeah. Also, the whole force projection thing, when, did Kylo Ren not get tipped off when they fired all those lasers at Luke Skywalker, and he was like, "Yeah, it's alright. I don't mind that so much. That was like a light breeze on a summer day."
Yeah.
That was a bit of a strange one. And then he was kind of a force projection. Oh, it's just like a whole thing.
Yeah, and now you can just rip stuff halfway through the fucking universe, you know? It's like, talking is like one thing, but like, actually being able to like transfer items, like, why couldn't you just pull Rey through, you know?
Yeah.
I've
got a question about, this might be a stupid question that was answered and I just kind of missed it. Since when was Leia a Jedi?
Oh,
because Leia was conducting like Rey's training, wasn't she?
Yeah. Okay. So Leia was never a Jedi.
Right.
It was hinted that in Return of the Jedi, that if Luke failed, there would be another sort of person. It's like, that boy is our last hope. No, there is another. That's Leia, because the two of them are twins. So she has
She's got some latent Jedi-ness or something.
Yeah.
She's got latent chosen one-ness.
Yeah, so it's in the sort of legend, in the sort of Legends comics, Leia's like sort of trained in the ways of the Force, and you sort of see that.
Okay,
but
well, we do like we know how we feel on this podcast about using obscure extra media to justify the story in the main film.
Oh yeah, but I mean, countless stories that fans had enjoyed for like years. Disney just came along and went, yeah, they're not canon anymore. We've got our own shit that we want to print now, so everything that you thought was real is not. But yeah, so it wasn't hinted in canon, like before that film, that she could use the Force, especially when she gets fucking blown out of her bridge and can just wake up and just force herself to the door. Like, holy shit, that was just out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, that was a bit weird, actually. I remember I was watching those. Oh, she's dead. Right.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a strange one. Right. How do you feel about Kylo Ren's redemption arc?
Shit.
Yeah, do you give a shit at any point?
Well, the whole sort of the whole redemption arc, it's made very clear that Han Solo coming back to talk to him is a memory, not a fucking Force ghost.
Right.
So he's just remembered something, just in a way that forgives himself. Like,
yeah,
it's not Han coming back to say, it's okay, blah blah blah, you're my son, I still love you. It's him just sort of warping his own memory to forgiving himself and then
Jesus.
throwing away his life.
It's
It's so stupid.
Yeah, that's like, if anything, that's kind of worse.
Yeah, that's what fucking that's what psychopaths do.
Yeah,
They just go
like changing your own memories. But oh no, my mother would be very proud of
yeah.
it. Yeah.
he killed his dad, but if I remember it this way, I am forgiven.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's
But
fucking Kylo Ren.
why did they
What a stupid
kiss?
helmet. Why did they? Yeah, I
Why
have
did
no
they
idea.
kiss?
It felt unearned.
It's like there was no reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what do we do? Have them kiss. Have them what? Just do it. Just add it in. Just to be safe. What do you mean? Just to be safe? They have to kiss. There's been no explicit sort of tendency for them to be romantic in any way, but let's just shoehorn it in because the fans will love it, won't they? They'll fucking love it. The fan artists with their fucking anime pictures, they'll love that shit. Just make them kiss and then have him die.
Oh god, I've just got this image now of like J.J. Abrams and Ryan Johnson, just like in a boardroom somewhere with a dartboard with ideas on it, and they're just throwing darts at the ball, and then and like
whatever
Ryan
one
Johnson
stays, we put in the film.
Yeah, and one of them hits one that says Rey and Kylo kiss, and he goes yeah. Then the next one hits one that says Kylo dies, and they go, what? How are we gonna do that?
Rey Kylo kiss. Yeah, that's good. That could be interesting. Immediately after he dies. Amazing.
Oh, God.
Holy shit.
I've said it. I said it in the Mandalorian podcast. I've said it in everyone since, basically, but I'm going to say it again. The sort of the promise, almost, of the Star Wars universe is that it is inherently enormous and weird.
Yeah.
You can do a lot with a big, weird universe, and the Mandalorian is doing a lot with a big, weird universe.
Yeah.
So why? I don't get why these films aren't doing a lot with a big, weird universe. Why are we still focusing on Skywalkers?
I know it's like
maybe I've got some kind of petty grudge against the Skywalkers that even I don't understand. But like Jesus,
you know, I have to say these three films are really, really disappointing.
Yeah.
You know, every The Last Jedi created a split between Star Wars fans, and you know, it was you know, taking risk versus, you know, being respectful to the old. That was the sort of divide. And then, you know, the Rise of Skywalker managed to do something that no one expected. Unite all the fans in utter hatred of that film.
Yeah.
Which is good, you know? Unity at last through sheer hatred. But yeah.
Okay, for real though, Captain Phasma, why was her outfit like reflective? Was there a reason for that?
No, it just looked cool.
It just looked. Oh well, yeah, it just looked cool. That's the reason.
Yeah.
Oh fucking hell!
Like J.J. Abrams is like he's really good at like directing really cool visuals, and
yeah, he is. Yeah,
you know he's really. But what he shouldn't be doing is have sole creative control over a fucking film. Not just directing, writing as well. You know, maybe you should like speak to people who know about the universe and know actually about what's happened.
Yeah.
That seems kind of important. But yeah, they even say it. Oh, it's another Death Star. It's bigger.
I remember when we were doing computer science. I think it was GCSE. It might have been A level. I can't remember. We were talking about algorithms, and our teacher was talking about how like algorithmically generated or procedurally generated things within, like, say, video games or within whatever it might be, and he made the example of the Terminator film, which had just come out, Terminator Genesis. So I suppose it must have been my GCSEs. But he made the example of that film, and he said that film was like algorithmically generated. They said, right, what polls well with all these demographics we want to hit? Okay, we need big explosions, guns, Emilia Clarke because she's in Game of Thrones, and other things. And we need some sort of quirky humour that the Marvel films did okay for one or two movies, and then it got old quickly. We need some of that. That look how well those films are doing, and they sort of picked 4 or 5 things and then just sellotaped them all together. That's what it feels like this trilogy is.
Yeah.
Well, okay, what did people love about the original trilogy? Well, they loved how everything looked. They loved that Darth Vader was like really imposing and dark and menacing, and they loved that Boba Fett had such a cool outfit and it had all the sort of battle-worn sort of armor and stuff. That was really cool. They're like, all right, okay, let's put some interesting, cool sort of armor in this. Okay, what can we do? We can have a stormtrooper that is reflective. That's what we can do. We can put one of them in, and we can get so that they're like dark, imposing characters. Okay, what if we get Darth Vader's outfit, right? But we take that weird chest bit off, then we take off his helmet and put a fucking stupid one on. Does that work? Is that big and imposing? Yeah, that works. But also, can we have him take his shirt off and just oil up halfway through the film, please? Can we just make that happen? That'll poll well.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You know...
It's been a long day today. I've been complaining about car insurance for a bit. Now I'm just complaining about Adam Driver oiling himself up.
Yeah.
So that's good.
What I really found really funny... nice alliteration there, Daniel. If you watch, like, The Last Jedi... and then watch like, The Rise of Skywalker, like JJ just walks back like, every single one of like Ryan's sort of things.
Yeah.
It's like, Luke throws away the lightsaber at the beginning, and then Luke's like, a Jedi's weapon deserves more respect. Rey is nobody, and it doesn't matter who you are. Next film, I did tell you the truth. Your parents were nobody, but your grandparent is someone. It's like, well, our parents weren't nobody then, were they? It's like it's the son of the emperor of like, the galaxy. That's pretty fucking. I don't know how more important you could get it, really.
Yeah. Which
Which means that Palpatine has done the dance with no pants with someone in all his creamy Sheev form. You know, some fucker out there is. No kink shaming, but holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like I was going to say the Harry Potter musical. It's not that. Is it the Golden Child? I think it was called
The Cursed
Golden
Child.
Something. The Cursed Child. That was it. Where it was revealed that like Bellatrix Lestrange and Voldemort had a child together. While Voldemort was full Ralph Fiennes Snake guy. So that was a bit of a weird thing. Chloe read the book and told me that, and I thought, what? Isn't Voldemort right? Voldemort is like 70 at the Battle of Hogwarts. Did you know this?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he is, because he's just really fucking old. Because wizards live for long anyway. Like Dumbledore was like 150 years old when he died.
Yeah.
But Voldemort was like just an old bloke when he was fighting there. But because he'd like split his soul up and all that stuff, he was like a snake guy. It does beg the question: how did his nose fall off? Maybe he put his nose within like one of the Horcruxes, and that was. Yeah, okay, that's my answer. He cut off his nose, and that counted as enough of a murder. That counted as a Horcrux for the Helga Hufflepuff Cup.
Yeah.
Yep. Final answer. It's a shame that we'll never find out who wrote those books.
Who knows?
Who
Maybe
knows?
he sniffed the script for these 3 films, and like just
and he
instantly...
removed all the good idea. He removed all the good ideas with such a powerful sniff.
Yeah.
And the aroma of shit that was left was enough to just melt his nose off.
That's canon now, folks.
Yes, I am actually Ryan Johnson, and that is canon.
Holy shit. Jakku might as well have just been fucking Tatooine.
Yeah, it might as well have been.
I'm just running through my small notes here.
To be honest with you, my notes are much the same. I've got a note here that says, "Fucking hell, this is hard to follow." I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know what any of the planets are.
Yeah.
I know Luke was on Tatooine. I know very little aside from that. There are things that stick out in your mind because they're nice phrases, like Forest Moon of Endor. That sticks out in your mind because that's a nice phrase. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But then they mention some other planet, and I'm like, I already know too many planet names, and I only know about 10. So come on.
It's so obvious that JJ wanted an Endgame-like scene at the end of the Rise of Skywalker with all the ships that are showing up.
With Endgame, it felt
the navigation for the Star Destroyers is fucking dog shit. It's like, navigation can't tell which way's up out there. We need a tower to sort of tell you which way's up. What?
That kind of... yeah, that's kind of dumb, actually. No, I was going to say that kind of makes
They
sense.
They literally go up and rise out of the planet, and then suddenly they don't know which way is up. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's a good point.
What? And then they can just transfer the tower to one of the ships. Does that know what way's up? Like, what the fuck?
Maybe it's to do with, like, how it's all kind of arbitrary in space. Because there's no 0 point, like the galaxy is so 3D.
Yeah, I know, but you know how to go up.
Yeah, you'd think you would. You think you'd have jets on the bottom you could just...
Yeah!
Yeah!
Holy shit!
Well, I think we've had some strong opinions about these films, haven't we, Cocker? I think we might have to cut this one a bit short because we have I was going to say a super secret episode, but this episode that we're recording now will be coming out after the one we're about to record, so it's not a super secret episode.
Yeah. Okay. No, you're right. You're right. I've just got loads and loads of nitpicks here that we could go through.
Go on, hit me with some nitpicks.
No, it's okay because we are running out of time now.
Okay.
But, folks, these films, I'm just gonna treat this as my closing statement.
Okay.
These films are really fucking disappointing. They don't give the fans what they want. You know, they've created a division to the point where it was like people were actually like falling out over that, and that's silly. I don't think people should fall out over films. And then I like Star Wars. I've always liked Star Wars, and I just want something that's good. And when that doesn't happen, I'm just kind of annoyed, and I'm annoyed at the fact that I'm annoyed. So there you go.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I wasn't that invested in Star Wars. I've made no secret of this. Before we started this, I'd never watched any Star Wars. And now I feel like...
you shouldn't have bothered.
To some degree, yes.
Yeah!
I think there's some bit... I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool, I suppose. The Death Star, that's kind of a cool concept, I guess. And Darth Vader's a bit spooky, but I don't really give that much of a shit.
Yeah.
I appreciate the journey I have been on, though perhaps I didn't enjoy it. Does that sound a bit contrite, or is that all right with you?
No, that's all right. I mean, you can't. I say again. I said this for the original trilogy. I really don't think I'd like this sort of franchise if I wasn't sort of brought up with it. I'd probably just like Lewis take one look at these films and just go, there's so much going on. I can't be fucked. It's like none of it makes sense. I'm just gonna leave it. But I understand why you feel like that. I'm too far in now.
You're too far gone to hate them.
I'm too far gone to not care about these films. Oh man, I do. What I will say is that I think Star Wars has a big fucking future in television.
Definitely, yeah. They're making loads of series now, aren't they? They're making an Ahsoka series, Ahsoka Tano, Rosario Dawson. They're making a series with her in it. They're making loads of stuff, aren't they?
Definitely. So I'm looking forward to that. But that's another day. Anything else you want to say before we put this to bed?
I am afraid not. No, I think it's time for some capitalist shilling.
Damn. Well, that was Star Wars. We've reviewed every single Star Wars film from the trilogies.
Indeed, we have.
Holy shit! What a journey,
Yeah. What a good use of my time. I'm sorry, that was needlessly harsh, but yeah.
You are right. But anyway, let's do some shilling. So we've switched up the formula a little bit. We're going to do our link trees. If, Lewis, you want to say yours, I'll say mine, and then one of us can say the shouting into the void one.
Okay. My link tree is linktree / Lewis_Brindley. I'm sure you know how link trees work. Go to your browser, type in linktr.ee / Lewis_Brindley, and then you've got all the links to everything I have ever done in my life.
Yep.
Or more accurately, social media and other related things. So go and check that out.
Yep. My link tree is https / linktree / Ohiram. Go type that in and you'll see everything I have ever done in my life. And shouting into the void's link tree is https / linktree / shouting into the void. So go type that in.
I like that you go to the effort of saying HTTPS when you have no control over that. That's something that Linktree decide. Okay. But sorry, go on.
Jesus Christ, right. This is taking longer. We did this to make it shorter. but anyway, we also have a PayPal donate button, so anything you can spare, anything at all, would be much appreciated. We're on Patreon as well, and we want to thank our wonderful, wonderful patrons. Chloe.
Thank you.
Darius.
Thank you.
Sophie.
Thank you.
Peter.
Thank you.
Aditya.
Thank you.
Richard.
Thank you.
And Natalie.
Thank you.
Thank you, one and all.
Yes, thank you, one and all. You mean that we can do the podcast, and we very much enjoy doing the podcast, even if it means that Danny forces me to watch all of Star Wars.
Yeah. We also have merch on Teespring and Redbubble, so go on there, have a look. We sell tote bags, we sell jumpers, all sorts. Have a look.
Yes.
We are also sponsored by a wonderful, wonderful company called Right Side Yarns, and we've created an Oscar-winning ad that has swept the globe. And you will wait. Oh, it's your turn to edit this week, isn't it, Lewis?
It is, yeah. The ad will play now. Danny, I've got some amazing news.
Oh, really? What?
I'm going to make you a hat.
Thanks. But why?
Well, because Right Side Yarns, who sell beautiful and unique wool, have recently released a new range.
Oh, I've heard of them. Aren't they that fantastic Scottish business that sells high-quality hand-dyed products perfect for crafting with?
They certainly are, and they're sponsoring the show.
Really? Have they heard the show?
Yes, and apparently they like it. Kezia, the owner of the business, has given us a generous 15% off code for any of our listeners to use.
Is that why you've got Void 15 written in your hand?
It is! If you or any of our listeners would like to use the code, simply enter Void 15 at checkout with a capital V.
Great! Where do I check out?
You can go to their website at rightsideyarns.co.uk or check them out on Instagram at Kezia_rightsideyarns.
Fantastic! This hat you're making me better be good.
Oh, bloody hell. Amazing! Wasn't it? Amazing. I think I just cried. I cried one single tear, and it left my eye, and it rolled down my cheek, and now I can see it sat on my desk.
That ad was better than the entire sequel trilogy.
Do you hear that, Ryan Johnson? Do you hear that?
You hear that, JJ? Take notes. For fuck's sake. And last but certainly not least, we are partnered with a fantastic company called Number 12 Crochet Avenue, and Lewis is going to say some wonderful things about them, all of which are true.
Indeed I am. Number 12 Crochet Avenue is a company run by my amazing wife in which she crochets, and she's very good at it. If you liked Right Side Yarns, you'll love Number 12 Crochet Avenue, so you can go and check her out at Number 12 Crochet Avenue on Instagram. It's all letters and words, no punctuation or numbers, so go and take a look on Instagram and give her a follow.
Absolutely. Well,
I know. We've done stuff. We haven't talked about what we're going to do next.
We haven't?
Isn't that exciting? I better quickly get the spreadsheet open.
Let's just make an on the spur sort of random selection. This is exciting. Ooh!
It is exciting. Sign in to Google Drive. Oh, bloody hell.
It was more exciting when Google Drive wasn't involved.
Little do you know, Google Drive has always been involved. Google Drive is present in our lives. Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
Here we go. Shouting into the void recommendations. Here we go. Right, okay. I've got to find a fucking random number. How many films are there? So many. Okay, there are 173. Okay.
Right. Will I spin the wheel?
Yes, spin the wheel.
Okay.
That is number, oh, Jesus Christ, 83, which is the Back to the Future trilogy.
Oh, another trilogy.
Indeed. Don't worry, we are going to do 3 more podcasts back to back. We're going to do one big one with all the Back to the Future movies in it.
Yeah, that's wow. Who was that?
That was Darius.
Oh, well done, Darius.
Good egg, Darius. I'm a big fan of Back to the Future. I need it after the nightmare hellscape that was the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
Yeah. So excellent. So tune in for that. Doc, you can't just go into a store and buy plutonium.
Are you telling me that it's 8:35? Exactly. I'm late for class. And that's how the film goes. So thanks for listening to this podcast. Thank you very much for listening to our nonsense podcast. If you'd like to hear us talk about Back to the Future, tune in again next week. We've had a few more listeners recently, so if you're a new listener, thank you very much for listening. Thank you for joining us. I do keep track of all the numbers and stuff, so I see all the listens, so thank you very much.
Yes. And we will see you, hear you, smell you, fucking entire franchise next time.
Yes, we'll see you then. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.